Hey everyone, my name is Welonz and welcome to what may be the start of a pretty lengthy Let's Play series. We're diving into Dragon Age Origins today. Since Mass Effect got a remaster last year, I was pretty interested in checking out the Dragon Age series, especially since I know there's gonna be a new game coming out soon. And I was holding out for a remaster or remake, but it just doesn't seem like it's gonna happen, so here we are. Thanks to my patrons over at Patreon for voting for me to play this game. In recent memory, I think this is probably gonna be one of the bigger series I'll be taking on, considering how this is the first game of multiple. And it's exciting, but also a bit daunting at the same time too. It just feels like it's gonna be a really big thing. I don't know a single thing about Dragon Age. Like, I sort of know that it's set in a medieval setting, and dragon implies that there's magic and, well, dragons and stuff, but that's pretty much it. We're gonna be getting to know a vast world and story from the very beginning here, and I would love it if you could join me. Before we start, I do want to say that because Dragon Age Origins is over a decade old by now, I did add a few mods to update it a bit. I don't think there is anything big here, bug fixes, minor texture updates, and HUD and subtitle resizes. I actually don't think this game is even playable above 1080p without the HUD resize, so it's a good thing that it exists. But you can sort of see here already that it doesn't, like the mod doesn't work on every single element in the HUD, so if some things end up being too small, I do apologize in advance. If it's important, I'll try my best to enlarge it in editing or whatever, but bear with me, okay? Bear with me. And I think we should just begin. And so is the Golden City blackened. With each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven, and doom upon all the world. Canticle of Threnodies, 8:13.
The chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn.
Darkspawn. Bad guys.
They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed.
The Grey Wardens. I feel like I've heard that term before.
It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return.
Ooh.
But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. It may even be too late. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Okay, so what I've gathered so far is that Darkspawn are coming back after a long time, and we have humans. Let's see. The background you select will determine which of the 6 distinct opening stories you'll play through. It also affects how characters respond to you throughout the game. Yeah, we have 3 different races here. I did glance at this quickly before we started today. Humans, elves, and dwarves. So when we have different races, the first thing I'm immediately wondering is, what is the balance between all these races like? I feel like the typical thing that I would expect from a medieval story is that humans are like oppressing the other races because I don't know, because they can, really, right? So not sure yet. Let's not make too many assumptions and maybe we'll just go forward. Let's make it female. Well, let's see. Female, men and women in Ferelden. Ferelden, is that the name of a city or a country or not sure yet? Are generally regarded as equals. Both genders are evenly represented in most organizations, noble houses, and military forces. Okay, good, so I don't have to worry about sexism too much. Wait, do I have different... If I choose male, is the thing different? No, the blurb is the same. We also have elves. Once enslaved by humans, most elves have all but lost their culture. Okay, see, enslaved by humans. Scrounging and impoverished living in the slums of human cities. Only the nomadic Dalish tribes still cling to their traditions, living by the bow and the rule of their old gods, as they roam the ancient forests, welcome nowhere else. Elves can be warriors, rogues, or mages. So I think the closest thing that I've played with a similar setting would probably be The Witcher, right? Elves, forests, bows, okay. Dwarves. Rigidly bound by caste and tradition, the dwarves have been waging a losing war for generations, trying to protect the last stronghold of their once vast underground empire from the Darkspawn. Dwarves are very tough and have a high resistance to all forms of magic, thus preventing them from becoming mages. But it also means that they would be strong against mages, right? Racial benefits, +1 strength, +1 dexterity, +2 constitution, 10% chance to resist hostile magic. Whenever we get choices like this, I'm pretty vanilla. I feel like doing human, but we'll see first, because I think it also changes what kind of backgrounds we can select, depending on the race. So classes, we have 3. For human. Wait. Is that determined by the race? No, it's not. Only the race determines the background, not the class. So classes we have... Oh, I don't think this description is... Yeah, this description is for the background, not the class. Class we have warrior, mage, and rogue. Not sure what the... I would tend towards warrior. I do tend to just like running up to the people and beating them up. It's kind of like middle, very, very typical. Human warrior, human melee warrior, but you know, it's the kind of person I am. So let's see here. If I choose human, warrior, then we can choose human noble as a background. Born to wealth and power, second only to royalty, you find your training in both diplomacy and battle put to the test, as your brother leads the bulk of your family's forces to war in the south. My brother. So if I'm male, is it a sister then, or... Actually, does that change? Oh, okay, now we can see it. Warrior. Warriors are powerful fighters, focusing on melee and ranged weapons to deal with their foes. They can withstand and deliver a great deal of punishment, and have a strong understanding of tactics and strategy. Specializations for a warrior include Berserker, Templar, Champion, and Reaver. Class benefits: Strength, Dexterity, Constitution. Magi, mage, like a mage. Wielding a power as dangerous as it is potent, you know that magic is a curse for those lacking the will to control it. You anxiously await your harrowing. Capital H harrowing. The one chance to prove yourself against the demons lurking without and within. Succeed, or be slaughtered by the knights who ward against your kind. So the knights and the mages are at odds. Even within humans. Don't even talk about different races yet. So I don't know why we can't see a thing for rogue. Yeah, now I can't see the warrior one again. I don't... Oh, I guess maybe it depends on the background? I have no clue. Anyway, back to the female, human, warrior, I guess. So we can play as a human noble. If we play as a human mage, then we can play as a mage. If we play as a female human rogue, then that's also a noble. So a noble can be either a warrior or a mage. Yeah, okay. And then if I do elf warrior, Dalish elf. I kind of know what I want to pick already, but I feel like reading this just to understand things a little bit more. Dalish elf, proud of your role as one of the few true elves, you have always assumed you would spend your life with your tribe, until a chance encounter with a relic of your people's past threatens to tear you away from everything you have ever known. True elves. So maybe elves are kinda just like how humans have, nobles and non-nobles, elves have true elves and people that they regard as fake elves, okay? Or you can be a city elf. You have always lived under the heavy thumb of your human overlords, but when a local lord claiming his privilege with a bride shatters your wedding day, the simmering racial tensions explode in a rain of vengeance. Yeah, racial tensions. A lord? Okay, I was gonna get married and then somebody comes to take my bride. Huh. Wait, I'm playing as a female elf here, so I guess homosexuality is completely okay in what's the place called again? Ferelden? Yeah, okay, cool, good to know. So those are the two choices as a elf warrior. I can also just be a mage. These two, okay, this is the same. So for dwarves cannot be mages. They can only be warrior or rogue, makes sense. Dwarf commoner. Born casteless in a land where rank is everything, bound to the lackey and thug of a local crime lord, you have spent your life invisible until chance thrusts you into the spotlight, where you can finally prove whether you will be defined by your actions or your birth. The caste system binds people, for better or worse, or you can be a dwarf noble. As a favorite child of a dwarven king, you proudly take up your first military command, only to learn that the deadly intrigues of family and sycophants may pose a greater danger than even in the battlefield. Every race has their own problems. Every race has commoners and nobles. Yeah, makes sense. Even within our own race, there's all sorts of ranking systems, let alone with each other. But I'm guessing right now, humans are probably at the top. So if we choose a human noble, so, okay, female, human, warrior, and then noble. This is probably the most privileged we can be. Which, I don't know, it could mean stuff like we have access to a lot of resources to begin with, but we might have a lot of blind spots in terms of learning how to treat people or exposure to different races and just different circumstances. Could be interesting. We could be like a dumb, privileged person who is learning about diplomacy and learning about other people. Sure, why not?
Greetings.
Okay, my favorite portion of this whole thing. Oh, I don't know how to... I don't really care what I look like, really, but give me a second. Wow, we can even change our portrait here. Why do I care about this? I don't really. Man, I skipped over like entire sections. I just don't care about like, oh my god, jaw, cheeks, necks. Who cares? Who cares? We're gonna make a redhead today, okay? Voice though.
I have lost the spell!
What spell? Lost the spell? What does that even mean?
Greetings. 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 Charmed.
Greetings. How do you do?
I kind of want someone who matches, in my head, like a human noble. If I'm kind of young, I might be quite green. Someone who sounds maybe more innocent, but all these sound pretty like experienced.
Greetings. Greetings. Charmed.
Okay, not that one.
Greetings. How do you do?
Greetings. I have lost the spell!
Okay, this one, the wise one kind of sounds like they're book smart, but they know nothing about the world. Okay, let's do this one then. And I can change my first name. My last name is Cousland. Cousland. Okay, we're gonna Welonz Cousland. A distant relative of Welonz Shepherd. Are we good? No, we have more to do. Okay. Do I really, am I okay with this? Like, I really didn't look at the jaws and stuff. I just want to play. I want to play. Okay, forget it. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Can we do plastic surgery later on? Probably not. Okay, attributes. I can have 5 points to spend. Strength, dexterity, willpower, magic, cunning, constitution. Oh, what the heck? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think this is due to the mod. Because the mod is making the text bigger. The text here is the same as the text down here. Strength measures a character's physical prowess and directly affects the damage a character deals in physical combat. Accuracy of melee attacks? Sounds good for me, essential for warriors, especially if I want to wield two-handed weapons. It is not nearly critical for rogues, but nearly as critical. Okay, so everyone needs strength. Dexterity is agility, reflexes, balance. Improves chances to hit. Yeah, so we start with this being the highest because we're a warrior. Archery and dual wielding fighting styles demand high dexterity, yada yada. Willpower, determination, and mental fortitude, which is good for mages casting spells. And for warriors and rogues, it gives more staminas. Okay. Magic. Can I still do magic even though I'm a warrior? It's my natural affinity for the arcane. Crucial for mages. Determines how effective potions, poultices, and salves are for all classes. Okay, so I can't ignore it. Cunning. Determines how well a character learns and reasons. Most skills such as herbalism or combat tactics require a quick mind to master, and an observant eye can more easily find weakness in enemy armor. Rogues benefit from it the most. And then Constitution. Health and resilience. It's probably good for me, a warrior is a tank. So to start with, surprisingly, magic is not the lowest one we're starting with. It's willpower. Stamina, shouldn't that be kind of important too? I didn't really look into what would be good. I assumed putting a lot in strength would be good, but magic, potions, I want to do a little bit of magic too if that's okay. I don't know if we can. And to begin with, yeah, maybe Constitution, just making sure we have more health. I have no clue. Cunning. Yeah, I wonder if there's any skills related to conversation. These are all like combat-related skills, yeah? Because the cunning kind of sounds like, you know, how well a character learns and reasons, but that's not conversation, I don't think. Put up one. Okay, and then we'll just do Constitution. Oh my gosh, okay. We have 1 point to spend here to get one skill. Can you roll over? Can you make it bigger for me, please? It's really small. You know, I actually had to move my monitor closer to me because I can't see it. Coercion. Coercion requires 10 cunning. Become influential enough to convince others to change their views. Okay, that sounds like a conversation thing. Strength contributes to a more intimidating character. Oh. Cunning contributes to a more persuasive character. 25 points in each of these attributes is equal to another additional rank of the coercion skill. Oh, interesting. So coercion, if I want to do a lot of diplomacy and talking, this should be one I want then. Okay. Stealing. I can steal stuff from people, whether friendly or hostile, as long as they're not too alert. Trap making. No, I'm a warrior. No traps needed. Survival. Detect the presence of nearby creatures below the character's own level. The skill also grants +5 bonus in nature resistance. Herbalism. Make simple potions. Wait, so these are skills that I don't have, so I can't even make a potion myself? If I don't put it into potion making, is that what that means? Poison making. I can make poisons. So I already have 2 points into this skill here, which is combat training and improved combat training. I can do expert immediately. The character has seen more battles than even a seasoned soldier. Oh, maybe I'm not the kind of noble I thought I was. I thought I was like a good-for-nothing kind of noble. I want to be a good-for-nothing kind of noble, but maybe that's not who I am. Okay. Coercion. I kind of like the idea of opening up more things, even though that's not directly affecting my gameplay. We'll see. If I'm making a big mistake, we'll try to correct it and you can just let me know, okay? 2 points for talents. So the previous one was skills. This is talent. What's the difference? I don't know. Warrior. Dual weapon. Archery. Oh, so these are combat things, I think. Powerful. Warrior. Plus 25 health. 10% fatigue for wearing armor. Precise striking. Dual weapon. So even as a warrior, I can do different kinds of weapon builds. Well, I think, to begin with, powerful sounds easy. I'm getting lazy at looking at it. Precise striking. Dual weapon, more proficient with two-handed weapons. Archery, Archery it's a safe option. It means I don't have to get close to people and potentially die. Weapon and shield. Shield bash. So this is the opposite of dual wielding then. Well, it's not opposite. I can do one or the other, but I mean, I can do both. But it wouldn't be good because I'd be spreading my points thin, I assume. So the easiest bet. Oh, there's a two-handed. Oh, two-handed is one big sword. Dual weapon is two weapons, okay? Oh, so different styles. So to begin with, probably the simplest for me, if I don't want to commit, is to do another point in warrior in general. Precise striking. Okay, sounds good to me. Can I please play now? Yes!
For generations, your family, the Couslands, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Cousland's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
My elder brother.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True, though we both had less gray in our hair then, and we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
Are Orlesians other humans?
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pop, I didn't see you there. How, you remember my daughter?
I see she's become a lovely young woman. Pleased to see you again, my dear.
I suddenly feel like I stick out like a sore thumb with my red hair here, because my dad is not red-haired. And you, Arl Howe?
My son Thomas asked after you. Perhaps I should bring him with me next time.
Hey, I chose my voice, but I don't get voiced. Like, when does my voice actually show up? Not here. Thomas is a few years younger than I am.
As you get older, those years make less difference. A lesson often hard won.
I doubt she'll be receptive, Howe. My fierce girl has her own mind these days. Make her bless her heart.
No doubt because you've trained her as a warrior. How unique.
At any rate, Pop, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle.
What? Why can't I go into battle with you and Fergus?
I'm certain you'd more than prove yourself, but I am not willing to deal with your mother if you join the war. She'd kill me if I let you go. She's already twisted into knots about Fergus and me going.
Let me talk to her. I'll convince her.
I doubt that. You know your mother, and she made it clear there is no debate. This is no needless task. I ask you to take a great responsibility. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
It's important for someone to look after the castle as well.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Cousland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
What does that
We rarely
mean?
have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope.
Oh, that was the guy in the cutscene. They defeated the Darkspawn long ago.
Not permanently, I fear.
Without their warning of the Darkspawn rising now, half the nation could have been overrun before we'd had a chance to react. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your daughter is also an excellent candidate.
Oh,
Honor though that might be, this is my daughter we're talking about.
A lot of the options steer me into wanting to go into battle. Do I want to go into battle? If my dad is saying, hey, watch the castle, I feel like the reason why I'm not okay with that is because I'm thinking, or like, you know, my character, like, I'm thinking that, oh, watching the castle is a second tier activity. It's not as good as fighting. But it is, right? It's important. But I don't know, it sounds like I do wanna fight. Is there a reason I shouldn't join them?
You did just finish saying that Grey Wardens are heroes, old friend.
I have not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone?
Of course.
In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me.
Ostagar. I want to see a map of the world. Where is Fergus?
Upstairs in his chambers, no doubt. Spending some last moments with his wife and my grandson. Be a good lass and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
Everyone is making preparations to fight the Darkspawn again. Okay, I got you. Okay, what do we got here? Ah, yeah, the portraits are a little small, the text... Okay, we'll make do, okay? Let me just have a look here. So the bottom is spells, I guess. We got shield bash and precise striking. Item set bonus. Matching equipment is providing an item set bonus. Okay. Swap weapon sets. There's my picture showing my stats. Character record, spells, skills, inventory, journal, map. Castle Cousland. I am the daughter of the lord here. Can I see a bigger overworld map? Okay, so Fergus's room is over there. Oh, my room is here. Study. It's a big castle. Big castle. I'm a high-ranking person. Why is my journal bloody? Okay. Oh, fantastic. Party members, allies, enemies. Okay. Alright. Tactics. Okay, I don't know what that is. Main menu. Let's do a quick save right here. Sure. I think... Yeah, this is really small. I think this text appears in the codex as well. Yes, so we'll read more of this later on. Oh my goodness, okay. Yeah, something about tactics. We're not even fighting right now. It's fine. It's fine. So how... There's multiple... And these are tooltips that come up as we look into the skills that... Yeah, because I opened a bunch of stuff right now, so all the tooltips came up at the same time. Arl Howe. Taryn Bryce Cousland. Duncan, the Grey Warden.
Shouldn't you be off to your brother, as I asked?
Are you sure you'll be alright?
Your brother and I go into battle, not an afternoon tea. Who knows what will happen to us? I will tell you, however, you're my darling daughter. I love you, and I trust you completely to carry on the Cousland name if the worst should happen. But don't worry about me, dear girl. You'll have enough to occupy your mind while I'm gone.
Sounds like I grew up in a loving enough family. Is sending all our forces south a good idea?
When the king demands it. In fact, not sending our forces south would be a distinctly bad idea. Don't worry, pup. You shouldn't see many problems, but I want you to prepare the men left here, in case.
We're a noble family, but we're not part of the royal family. That's the king. In case of what?
Legends of the Blights tell of horrible things. These darkspawn once threatened many lands. If we can't hold them, you must prepare for the worst.
I'll do my best, father. I swear it.
I know you will. You are a Cousland, after all. But let's not speak of ominous things. We shall assume that all will go well, and the Maker will watch over us.
Sounds like there's some kind of religion in these lands. The Maker. Where do you think Fergus is?
Upstairs in his chambers, no doubt. Saying goodbye to Oriana and your nephew.
I'll go now.
I'll talk to you soon. Just let me finish my meeting with Duncan. Shouldn't you be off to your brother, as I asked?
Okay, I'll go now.
I'll talk to you soon. Just let me finish my meeting with Duncan.
Yes?
How long have you and father been friends, Arlhow?
We fought together under King Merrick when he drove the Orlesians out of Ferelden.
Ferelden.
Heady times. The years since have not held the same promise. It's not something a youth would understand. It will be good to ride beside your father again.
Back in my father's day when he was younger, seems like there was a bit of unrest. But generally things have been pretty peaceful for some time, and then now the Darkspawn are coming back. But back then, it wasn't... Like, my father did not deal with the Darkspawn being a problem, because the Darkspawn were defeated 400 years ago, and my father is probably not 400 years old. You knew King Merrick?
Your father hasn't spoken of our time with him? That man took care of his friends. As they say, he was large as life and twice as tall. It's too bad Kalen isn't half that.
His son? King Merrick's son, the now king. You don't think much of King Kalen?
I think of him as much as he thinks at all.
That's enough, Hal. You speak of our king.
The girl did ask, your lordship. As per the latitude you allow. I merely offered my opinion.
Your son is interested in me?
The topic has come up from time to time. The young and their infatuations.
I don't remember returning the interest.
That speaks to your nature, not ours. I can't say I approve of the freedom your father allows. If something did happen, well, we'd address it as befits a family of our stature.
Don't hold your breath. We'll see.
I'm sure. There will be much to discuss once I return.
Yeah, no need to offend people. We can insult them in our head, but we don't have to say it out loud. I trust the delay with your men is nothing serious.
Poor weather, I believe. Their progress has been slow, but it's nothing you need worry about.
But what if they've been stopped by Darkspawn? We don't know that, right? You told my father the delay was your fault.
In a manner of speaking. If I had reinforced our border levies earlier, my troops could have left before the rains. I confess, my confidence in your father allowed me some complacency. I guess that makes it as much his fault.
I just want to wish you well, Arhal.
I thank you. That is quite unnecessary.
That's... Why? I'm just wishing you well. You're a family friend, aren't you?
Oh, really? You should do as your father asked. The trouble ahead won't wait for these little chats.
We have time, all right? Nothing. Sorry to bother you.
Another time, then.
Is it a bit insulting? To wish someone well is because... You could kind of say that it's because you think that they won't do well. And it might be sort of like bad mojo. Like... predicting in advance that he's gonna die or something, which I get the impression that my father is probably gonna die soon, but we'll see.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone.
I was hoping to ask you a quick question or two.
Very well. I doubt your father would mind a slight delay.
Oh, that's a lot of questions. Are there really Darkspawn in the south?
Indeed. We spotted a horde assembling in the Korkari Wilds not 3 weeks ago. Luckily, King Kalen took us at our word and marshaled Ferelden's forces quickly. The first battles have already been fought. Your father and I must move quickly.
How many Darkspawn are there?
Thousands. Perhaps 10,000 or more in this horde. Normally the Darkspawn stay in the deep roads. It bodes ill that so many risk the surface.
Wait, what did they say in the opening cutscene what Darkspawn are made of again? I'll have to go back. Something about, like, bad mages or something? How much danger are Fergus and my father in?
Well, I understand the first battles have gone easily.
Indeed. Are the Grey Wardens sure this is a blight, and not simply some large, darkspawn raid?
No archdemon has been sighted yet, my lord. But with my entire soul, I believe this is a blight.
Archdemon.
I wish we shared your faith. I suppose we shall see for ourselves once we arrive at the king's camp.
Even the demons have rankings. Archdemons. Would you really recruit me into the Grey Wardens?
Of course. You're young, skilled, and eager for battle. Also, I heard. The Grey Wardens do not recruit simply anybody, and I intend no flattery when I say you show promise. The old treaties allow me to conscript you even against your father's wishes, but I will not do so. Our order is too small to risk animosity with Ferelden's nobility.
And glad I am to hear it.
It's tempting, your lordship, but I'm content to see what other candidates your castle offers.
I'm famous enough that he knows about me, so I'm definitely not just some random rich kid who doesn't know anything. Did you really come all this way to see Sir Gilmore?
I have only found a couple of worthy candidates in my travels across Ferelden. Your father invited me here, suggesting this Sir Gilmore. If he is not suitable, I will head south and join up with the king.
You know the king?
Not well. King Cousland is an eager young man who has shown great wisdom in responding to the Darkspawn threat.
I've heard he's a bit enraptured with the Grey Warden legend, and that is why he caters to your order.
How? That is unworthy of you.
He only repeats what we've all heard. Whatever the king's reasons, I'll take his support. The priority is defeating the Darkspawn before they threaten all of Ferelden.
That's not necessarily a bad thing, because it sounds like he holds the Grey Wardens in high regard. So later on, if we want him to make a certain decision, maybe we can send this guy over and be like, hey, do this thing I want you to do, and it'll work. I'll leave you alone then.
Until we speak again.
Just kidding, can we speak again right now?
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone.
May we speak later?
Your father has left you in charge of the castle? Then I will see you at dinner tomorrow, if not sooner.
Hey, this is... Am I a little bit too eager? I would prefer sooner.
Then let us meet in the morning. I will seek you out before Sir Gilmore's testing. Would that be sufficient?
Oh, this is... Whoa. Whoa. Yes, that should be fine.
Until the morning, then. I look forward to it.
I need to feel around first, okay? I know we want to flirt with everybody, but I need to feel around what the place is like to begin with. Okay, WASD. Okay, A and D change the camera angle.
Good evening, milady.
Good evening. We need to use the mouse to switch. Okay. It's a little bit odd, but we'll be fine. Plot helpers are markers on your current area map that indicate where you need to go to progress in your active quest.
Good evening, milady.
Good evening. Can we look at bookshelves and stuff, or should I just get going? Huh.
Greetings, my lady. You are the Terran's daughter, are you not?
Oh, I thought Terran was my dad's first name. The Terran is like a position. Terran Bryce Cousland. And who are you?
I am a member of Arlhow's personal guard. The rest of the Arl's forces are expected tonight. I understand you shall take charge of your father's castle once we march.
So I'm told, yes.
Ah, then I wish you luck. Good evening, my lady.
It doesn't sound like I want to stay here at all.
Good evening, my lady. Good evening, my lady.
My dad, when he was younger, I suppose. Oh, yeah, it's gonna take me a little bit, getting used to walking around here.
Good evening, my lady.
Good evening. Good evening. I'll take this away. Exploration, WASD to explore the world. Alternatively, right-click on the ground to select a destination. Ah, okay. Well, but the camera moves with it. Use your mouse wheel to zoom in. Oh, and zoom out for tactical combat. In exploration mode, move the mouse while clicking in the right button rotates your view. In tactical mode, clicking on the mouse wheel lets you pan across the screen. You can only pan until your party members are at the edge of the screen. Yeah, so the fighting here is... I don't really have a good idea of what it's like. It's not really like Mass Effect then, I guess. It's more tactical than that. Like turn-based? I have no clue. We'll have to see. Where the heck am I? Where the heck am I? We can go the long way. It's fine. Who's here? There's a chapel here. I want to go pray. Pray for my soul because I was gonna frickin' proposition the Grey Warden into coming to my room within 5 minutes of meeting him. Mother Mallow.
Maker, prepare a place for us. Redeem our world from sin. Forgive our transgressions.
Maker, forgive us all!
Have you come to pray for your brother and father? I'd be happy to ask for the Maker's blessings with you.
Wait, is she like my mother? Or is it mother as in a religious mother? You're not my mom, right? I would appreciate that, Mother Mallow.
Please, child. Call me Malol.
Malol.
I've known you since you were a wee babe after all. Creator of the sky, the land, and the sea. Hear your people in our time of need.
Maker, watch over us.
Let no man have cause to fear the shadows. Let their souls be lifted upon your return. So let it be.
Maker, forgive us all.
There now. I'll be keeping a vigil tonight. You're welcome to come. There are many more who must receive the Maker's blessings before they leave. If you would excuse me.
Could you answer a few questions?
I cannot. Many await my attendance before they march into the unknown. We shall talk once the soldiers have departed.
Everyone's saying, "Oh, we'll do this later," which tells me that something horrible is gonna happen later, and we're not gonna be able to do any of this. Don't you worry. Book. An account of the life. Wait, what? Account of the. We can read that, right? Codex. Which one is the codex? C for C for character record. No. Codex. Journal. Conversation history. Codex. Woo! We're gonna have a lot to read. So this was just controls. We can forget about that for now. We just picked up a book. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't worry too much about this for the moment. Yeah, we'll dig into it once we really get a feel of the place. But I just want to know what I just picked up. What did I just pick up? High ever. Characters. Duncan. Okay, we can read about Duncan, sure. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings, the Grey Warden sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness and prevailed. Like many others, Duncan gave up his family name when he joined the ranks of the Wardens, a symbolic gesture of cutting ties. He might say this was a convenience in his case, however. His mother was from the Andervels, his father from Tevinter. His childhood was spent in the Free Marches and Orleans. Oh, wasn't that the people that we were fighting? My dad was fighting, the Orlesians? His people were everywhere, and his homeland was nowhere. He was given the almost impossible task of leading the Wardens of Ferelden, a kingdom that had thrown the Order out 200 years earlier. Facing local suspicion and hostility, he set about finding recruits. But if it has been mainly peaceful, the Grey Wardens were great heroes 400 years ago when the Darkspawn was first defeated. But for the next 400 years, I would assume that they wouldn't actually have that much power or be held that high in regard because it's been peaceful, and people don't care when it's peaceful. Arl Rendon Howe. It will be good to ride into battle once more, won't it, old friend? The Arling of Amaranthine Amaranthine winds along the sinuous northeastern coast of Ferelden. The waking sea is known for its temper, and the storms that sweep in from the warmer northern waters are sudden and brutal. These are the lands of Rendon Howe. He was born during the occupation, and like many of the nobles at the time, joined Prince Merrick's rebels. He fought alongside young Bryce Cousland, future Terran of Highever. Highever, this is our place. Ferelden is the big thing, and then Highever is the thing inside Ferelden. And Leonas Bryland, future Arl of South Reach, at the bloody Battle of White River. It was the most catastrophic defeat of the entire occupation, from which only 50 rebel soldiers escaped alive. Although he was decorated for valor by King Merrick, Howie's abrasive manners have earned him almost universal dislike among his peers. Well, sometimes people like that are useful. They say it like it is, but probably not with too much tact. I get XP for picking up these books, The Chant of the Light. So whether I read them right now or not, we should be picking them up anyway. Is there a way to tell? Because just now I could barely tell there was a book here. Okay, that was a chapel. Guard post, study, library, atrium, kitchen pantry. We'll go this way. Is there a day-night cycle? I assume not. Maybe it advances in story moments.
Good evening, milady.
Good evening.
Milady.
Okay, we're back here again. Insufficient skill. What is this room? Why can't I go in? I don't know. You just encountered a locked object. You might be able to pick the lock if your skill is high enough, or you might locate a key through adventure or negotiation. Cool. Where is that? Guard post.
Oh, my lady, we were just,
Playing cards?
Well, the treasury's safe. I'm not even sure why the Terran stationed us here.
Did my father fear someone would steal something?
I don't know. Nobody has come to look at the treasury.
Who has the key to the treasury?
The Terran. And perhaps the Terna? Honestly don't know, my lady.
Terna's my mom? Terran? Continue your game. Pretend I never came by.
My lady is very kind to show us such lenience.
Seems like there might be a secret in the treasury, huh? Might want to look around a little bit more. I don't see cards. Wait, you guys are just... The cards are just... Okay. Okay. I don't know how closely I need to look at the objects. Like, there's not a super clear indication to me when there's stuff here. Oh, here's the treasury. I don't have the key. My dad has the key. Can I pickpocket the key out of my dad? Dad, open the treasury! Your daughter wants to look around.
Thank you for your lenience, my lady.
Maybe nothing for now. And then over here... Why is there just some random broken stuff here? We should fix this. It's bad for broken stuff to just be lying around.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Ah, Sir Gilmore. Hello to you too, Sir Gilmore.
Pardon my abruptness, my lady. It's simply that I've been looking everywhere for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave.
She was my nanny before she was the cook. Nan won't leave.
Your mother disagrees. She insists you collect the dog, and quickly. You know these Mabari hounds. He'll listen to his mistress, but anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
Mabari hound. Then I guess I should go collect him.
That would be wise, before Nan tears down the walls. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we?
Where is my mother exactly?
She was entertaining Lady Landra and her son when I left her. Perhaps in the atrium? Before we go, my lady, might I beg a question? I've heard from several people that a Grey Warden is here. Is that true?
You sound quite excited.
Awed, more like. The reputation of the Grey Wardens as mythical warriors is unsurpassed.
His name is Duncan. I met him.
Then, is it also true that this Grey Warden was asking after me?
That's not my place to say, I don't think. I'm not certain. Maybe.
Maybe? Have mercy! Is he asking after me or not?
I mean, I think so, but I don't think it should come from me. What if things change by next morning? Just joking. Yes, he wants to test you.
Maker's breath. Are you certain?
No.
Can you imagine me, a Grey Warden? It would be everything I've dreamed of. Of course, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Pardon my outburst.
Okay, so this guy's gonna die, right? Oh, party member. Party member. A new party member has joined you. You can take control of this character directly by left-clicking on his or her portrait or body. Alternatively, you can use the tactics menu to adjust how the AI controls him. Tactics menu. What is that for me? Ooh, okay. I have a default AI as well, so Sir Gilmore can be... What is a scrapper? I don't know. Whoa, there's like... You can code what they'll do? That's actually really cool, but complicated too. Okay, well there's no fighting to be done here, so forget about that for now. Oh, okay, I can walk around as my party member too. Interesting. I don't think I need that though. So I can become any of my guys. I see.
We really should go after your hound, my lady, before he does something worse.
Do you know much about the Grey Wardens?
Only what everyone hears. I never expected to actually see one. So few of them are here in Ferelden.
Have you ever seen are Grey Wardens really as skilled as the legends say?
I hear they only recruit the most skilled. It'd be disappointing if that wasn't true.
What happens if the Grey Wardens recruit you?
I only know that once you become a Grey Warden, your old life is over. There's no going back.
Hey, so if I become a Grey Warden, I would be losing my Cousland name, wouldn't I? Isn't that sort of... I don't think my dad would like that, because it's like losing a family member. Well, in name. Have you ever seen Darkspawn?
Never. You hear about Darkspawn attacking homesteads and travelers, but I thought they were just stories.
Let's talk about something else.
As you wish. But what if the Grey Warden tries to recruit you? Have you thought about it?
I really don't know how I feel about it.
I suppose you have many other options. Me? I would give anything to be recruited.
Do I love fighting that much? Do I want to protect my homeland and all that? I don't know yet. Why aren't you marching with our men?
I would were it my choice. Your father decided I should remain with the complement guarding the castle. I hope that's because this Grey Warden wishes to see me.
He came unannounced, so unlikely. Tell me about yourself, Sir Gilmore.
Well, you know I've served your father for years, since my own father sent me to squire here. My father is a minor lord in the Bannorn, but our land is little more than a glorified farmstead. I do miss it though. The valleys of the Bannorn are beautiful this time of year. I take great pride in serving the town. Still, if I had the opportunity to join the Grey Wardens, I wouldn't hesitate.
You would leave my father's service?
With his blessing, I imagine. Joining the Wardens is the highest service one can render.
I feel like it's kind of like becoming a monk, like cutting ties with your old family and all that, but it's a prestigious thing, obviously. I really don't need you to accompany me, you know?
Oh, it's no bother. I should make sure that Nan is settled anyhow, or your mother will have my hide.
Aren't you insistent? Let's keep going.
Of course, my lady. Lead on.
I feel like we're brothers or sisters or something, or siblings, with our hair and all that.
Good evening, milady. Good evening, milady.
Where is this? Library. Lots of books to be read here. Presumably. Oh, little kids. Library reading room? Chess playing room? Come on, there's gotta be a book I can read here. I want XP! No? Well, okay. Hello?
Hello, my dear girl. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
It's alright. It is boring.
I see you haven't changed. Perhaps it would benefit you to join our lesson?
Certainly. I'd be happy to.
Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is
no.
long indeed. Where shall we start?
Oh dear. Come to think it, no. We should learn a little bit more. We predate the founding of the kingdom, yes?
Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young lady.
I'm doing the best I can.
It seems you've already plumbed the depths of your potential then. A pity. At any rate, your family has held the tournure of High Ever since before King Callan had united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elethea Cousland battled Callan to maintain High Ever's independence.
Okay, you've lost me already. Many names, many names. Terranir. Terranir of High Ever. Before the kingdom. Okay. We're independent from the kingdom? Oh no, we battled, but now we're part of it. And Callan let us keep the Terranir?
Callan wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elethea's men were defeated, Callan asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event.
We oppose the king?
Well, the Couslands are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Callan was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Callan's army reached High Ever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Callan won.
When was our line founded?
Well, records are vague, but the Couslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child?
Yeah, of course. Not really.
Every day I pray to the Maker that my lessons will stick, and every day he tasks me anew. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Cousland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern.
Tell me about our relationship with Arl.
The history between the Couslands and the House reaches back to the Orlesian occupation.
When did Orleis occupy High Ever?
During your grandfather's rule. Of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near High Ever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the tourneur's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over.
But my father and Arl Howe are old friends.
The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Loghain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Callan, to fight the Darkspawn.
I don't think I took in everything there. There was a lot, but I'm sure as we walk around, as we learn more, we'll commit more of that to memory. Thank you for the lesson. Time to end it, I think.
Thank you for indulging an old man.
Does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good.
Oh.
Don't ask myself all this. Why do you do this?
Squires, we gotta listen. Oh, he's falling asleep! Aldous. Thank you, thank you. Wow.
Mother says the Darkspawn will all be killed and I won't see one. Is that true?
I hope so. I wouldn't want you to have to see one.
Are you marching off to war too? I wish I was old enough to fight.
I wish we didn't have to fight at all.
Mother says the Darkspawn will all be killed and I won't see one. Is that true?
I wish peace was eternal and that none of us ever had to fight, but that's not how it is. History of Ferelden up to the Orlesian occupation. We'll read it all in due time. Let me just, you know, walk around the castle and all that first. Librarian.
Good evening, my lady.
Good evening. How far can I detect books? I guess that was the only book there. Okay. We definitely have a rich history. I still want to see a bigger overworld map, but maybe once we leave the castle. So far, all I know is that we're somewhere in the north. It's a place called Ferelden, and we're in High Ever, and then the Darkspawn are coming from the south. That was a library. Why is there a rope here? People just... Ooh, that's a lot of people. Atrium. Kitchen. Cook mischief in the larder. Oh, I gotta go to the kitchen to get my dog, my something hound, Mabari hound. Which is not this way.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year.
Mother!
The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my daughter, along with Sir Gilmore. Tell me, Sir Gilmore, has my pup collared that dog yet?
Not just yet, your ladyship.
Darling, do take care of that. That malodorous hound of yours is an excellent protector, but he drives Nan to distraction.
Wait, I just realized. Someone said that I can install a mod so I can keep the dog with me all the time. I didn't install it. Well, depending on what... we'll see the dog first, okay? And then we'll decide if I have to install it later on. I'm sure they'll fight it out.
Don't give Mother a headache. Sir Gilmore, see that it gets done.
As your ladyship commands.
Good. With any luck, I'll be able to feed my guests before the end of next week. Darling, you remember Lady Landra?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Weren't you drunk? Don't cause my mother to lose face. Of course. It is good to see you again, my lady.
You're too kind, dear girl. Didn't I spend half the salon trying to convince you to marry my son?
And made a very poor case for it, I might add.
You remember my son, Dyron. He's not married yet either.
Don't listen to her. It's good to see you again, milady. You're looking as beautiful as ever.
Wait, are you the son? No, I see the flirting options and I wanna... Okay, thank you.
And this is my lady-in-waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great pleasure, my lady. You are as pretty as your mother describes.
And she says that after seeing you whacking stuffed men in the courtyard, sweating like a mule.
Your daughter's prowess with the blade is most impressive.
I was quite the battle maiden myself in my day. But I think it was the softer arts that helped me land a husband.
Okay, so? So, you're saying that I gotta do the softer arts or what? I can handle my own affairs, thank you, Mother.
All evidence to the contrary.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your ladyship. Sir Gilmore.
Mother.
I dare say I can hear Nan shouting from here. Perhaps if you hurry, you can keep her from having a fit.
No, I think she's already having a fit, if you can hear her. I think I have to go here for my brother? Which probably means we shouldn't be going here yet. Which I'm gonna go anyway because I want to see if we can get here.
We'd best get to the kitchens before Nan decides to up and leave, don't you think? You know what your mother would say.
Okay, okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Darren and Iona retired to the study. I'm just wondering if that might mean that I can go talk to them. The study was that extra room here. I mean, not that I'm interested in them, but...
Hello again.
Hello.
Your castle study is wonderful. Might I ask whose collection this is?
I don't want to talk about books! It was my grandfather's, but I come here often to read.
So would I. Do you have a favorite book?
The Art of Passionate Love by Brother Capria.
Oh, that was banned by the Chantry, wasn't it? Quite provocative, I understand. I've, never read it myself.
Would you like to? I am only joking, Darren.
You had me going there.
I don't know how far I can go yet. I'm not gonna push it too far, to begin with. So you're gonna be riding with my father tomorrow?
Yes, though I don't know when. I will leave when your father does. I'll ride as his second. A glorified squire, more or less. I'll care for his horse and armor and such. It's quite an honor.
Will you actually fight?
I hope so. I admit to trepidation about facing Darkspawn, but I can't imagine an opponent more worthy of defeat.
You consider it an honor to do menial tasks?
Unlike you, I am no child of a great house. If I can rise within the ranks of your father's service, it is more than I could normally hope for. I'm a bit surprised that you're not riding alongside your brother. Is that disappointing?
I definitely feel like I find it disappointing. Like, what am I trying to say? I personally think it's okay, but I feel like my person finds it disappointing. Are you implying something?
Implying? Not at all. I'm simply curious. If you're interested, I shall record what I can during the battle. My writing skills may be lacking, but I hope to convey a true sense of the warrior's experience. Writing such an important work is one of my ambitions.
Okay. What the heck is that third one? Do you know anything about the Grey Wardens?
No more than anyone else. Is it true there is one here in the castle? Have you met him?
I really shouldn't say.
I'd join the Grey Wardens in a heartbeat. Can you imagine destroying the Darkspawn forever? Becoming a hero? But I'd never gain a Grey Warden's notice. I'll have to be happy under your father's command.
Let's talk about me. I like that topic.
I don't actually know you that well, milady.
Me neither.
You're beautiful, capable, but beyond that, a bit of a mystery to me.
Oh my god. What have you heard about me exactly?
Everyone says you're more likely to succeed the Tarn than your brother is.
Oh.
That the Cousland line has never been stronger. I don't know about here, but outside your castle, people discuss your family a great deal. Some say your father should have been king instead of Cousland. But it is just talk, I think, born of affection for your father.
Wait, hold on. That was interesting information there. Apparently, I'm more favored to become the next Terran over my older brother. These things are usually, well, if there's two kids, I would assume the elder one would get it, so that's interesting. Yet, my elder brother is the one going off with my father to fight the Darkspawn. Interesting. Is that because maybe my father trusts me to make the best decisions for the castle? I'd like to get to know you a little better.
I'd like that. What did you have in mind?
Why don't we go somewhere? No. Tell me about yourself.
There's not much to tell. I'm the eldest son of a minor lord. I can't imagine I'm anyone very interesting to you.
No, it's exactly because you're so minor that I find you interesting. Perhaps we could talk after you return from the south.
I would be glad of the chance to get to know you better. Until then,
Dude, it just makes me think everyone's gonna die in the south because they keep saying, oh yeah, the south, the south.
Is there something else you would like to discuss, milady?
Should I do it? I'm just thinking about that and like, yeah, let's get to know it.
I'd like that. What did you have in mind?
Is this for real? Like, oh my god. Why don't we go somewhere more private?
Gladly. But your mother is expecting me for dinner shortly, as is mine. Perhaps another time?
Look at his little sniveling eyes. I should go.
Of course, milady. I am sure you have much to do yet.
Okay, well, whew.
It is good to see you again, my lady. And you also, Sir Gilmore.
Likewise, madam.
Wait, I can do the same thing here, okay. Oh, she's an elf, I didn't even realize. Okay. I haven't... Good evening.
Farewell, my lady.
No.
Good luck on managing this castle in the coming months. I imagine it shall be very difficult.
Wait, no, I just wanted to say hi to you, not bye.
It is good to see you again, my lady. And you also, Sir Gilmore.
Likewise, madam.
I haven't seen many elven ladies in waiting.
Lady Landra has been very good to me. I am lucky. If I may, I see that you have no ladies in waiting. Is this usual for a noblewoman of your rank?
I don't know. Wait, how do you tell if somebody's an elf? Is it usually by the ears? And obviously we can't see the ears here. If I had a maid like yourself, I might consider it.
You are very kind, my lady. I am nobody special. You make me blush.
How did you come to know Lady Landra?
My family has been in service to hers for many years. Lady Landra elevated my place as a reward for our loyalty. I hope this position might pass to my daughter.
That's a very, like... I hope this position might pass to my daughter. That's a very... It shows that she, as an elf, she thinks she's a lot lower than being... versus being a human. You have a daughter?
Forgive me, I shouldn't have mentioned her.
It's quite alright. Tell me about her.
Her name is Amathine. Her father died of a wasting sickness 2 years ago.
Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that. You speak of her fondly.
Amathine is my life. You will know when you have children. This is why your mother protects you from the coming battle.
I feel like saying I bet she has your beautiful eyes after finding out that her daughter died is kind of insensitive. You don't hope for more for your daughter?
I have risen very high for my people. I would not tempt fate by wishing more.
Yeah, she thinks very lowly of herself as being an elf. Like, elves are subservient to humans. At least she thinks so. I feel like there's definitely elves that don't think so, that are not here. It sounds like Lady Landra has been good to you.
Lady Landra is good to her elven servants. That is not true in many households, but I hear it is in yours. It speaks well of your father to show such compassion.
Why is treating an elf nicely considered compassion? Why is it not considered a normal, everyday thing? What have the elves done to be in this position? Because they're not human? Simply? That makes sense. Tell me about yourself.
I am an open book, my lady. What would you like to know?
Where were you born?
Lady Landra's manor is not half so large as your castle, so my family lives in the alienage.
Alienage? Okay, that sounds very alienating. Do you enjoy living there?
There, we do not stand out quite so much. In an alienage, my daughter learns what it means to be elven. As much as possible, so much of our history has been lost.
What do you think of humans?
That is an awkward question. What do you mean?
Okay, we are a noble human and she is an elven lady-in-waiting. She can't tell me what she really thinks. Unless if she wants to die for saying the wrong thing. She can't really say anything. Yeah, I don't... Hey, do you find humans attractive? The reverse is true enough. Is that saying that humans generally find elves attractive? Or is that me hitting on her? I don't want to hit on her right now. Hold on. Do you resent humans for what they've done to your people?
Well, that is not an easy question. I think that conversation would take far more time than we have now.
Yeah, that's true. Is there anyone special back home?
No longer. I have little time for such things.
Have you thought about it?
Between caring for my daughter and Lady Landra, very little. Though I would not rule it out if the right person came along.
I'm sorry, earlier I said her daughter died. No, the father is the one who died. The daughter is still here. Right. I'd like to ask you about something else.
Of course.
That's it.
Farewell, my lady.
Okay, we didn't get to flirt with her that much, but I think it's okay. We don't have to be a horn dog immediately to every single person we say.
Sir Gilmore.
Likewise, madam.
Oh, actually we can. You are very pretty, if I might say so.
My lady is very kind. Thank you.
I think we should get to know each other better.
Aren't we doing just that? What else did you have in mind?
Something more intimate later on in my room.
I see. I think I might like that. If I come to your door once everyone is asleep, would that be agreeable, my lady?
Is this for real? Wait, how come the guy rejected me, but then she's like okay with it? Yes, that would be very agreeable.
Until tonight, then.
Is this for real? What the fuck? What? That's a new quest! What? Oh, I thought I was just messing around. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, how come he didn't say... How come I couldn't deal with him? Not that I'm complaining, I'm just wondering. That doesn't seem very fair. Okay, I guess we're doing things now. Oh, okay. Okay. After some flirtation, Lady Landra's maid Iona has agreed to join you in your rooms for the evening. Okay. Alright.
I look forward to this evening, my lady.
Are you allowed?
Is there something else you would like to discuss, milady?
I'd like to get to know you a little better.
I'd like that. What did you have in mind?
This is all happening in the same room. Never mind, I should go.
Of course, milady. I am sure you have much to do yet.
Okay. Alright. Hey, maybe something horrible isn't gonna happen after all. Like, it sounds like this evening after supper thing is gonna... It'll happen sometime.